Hi everyone, it's Bridget Michelle with Remedy Bathhouse, and today we're gonna make something new and improved, not only in product, but also in belief. Part of the reason why I'm making videos in general is because I want to be completely honest about starting a business from scratch, making skincare and soap products for the public and for your family and friends. I wanted you to know what some of my core values are. I want to give out ideas, inspiration, help those like me that needed a change in life and those who set out to be successful in that change. To be completely transparent, show the truths about business, ownership, the goods, the bads, the uglies. You can do anything that you set your mind to. If you put in the work, you stay focused, you learn, you grow, and you make wise decisions. We can accomplish great things. And those are some things that I didn't get when I was in my corporate jobs, in my working for large corporations and businesses. I knew that I could accomplish certain things. I knew that if I surrounded myself with good or great team members that complimented me, that I would always do better. I didn't always have that, and sometimes I had to find that from within. Sometimes I was successful and sometimes I wasn't. In this journey, I want to make sure that I stay very true to those core values. A lot of videos that I've seen on YouTube regarding business tips or help topics and learning directly from owners or consultants have mostly been just that, informative and helpful videos. However, sometimes true transparency and/or hardships about the journey aren't shared. It's rare to see a video of a mistake or a pivot or a failure. So, as I work through my business and as I make mistakes, it would be discouraging. It would be very discouraging. And to keep it light, that would really affect me. So the truth is, mistakes happen. Ingredients get wasted, formulations don't work out, and it's okay. So why watch today? So let's learn together. Let's improve ourselves, let's improve our formulations, let's improve our business. It's just me doing the work. Business is complex, especially when you do it all alone. From idea to research, formulating recipe, to physically making the products, designing labels and sticking them to the packages myself, operations, ordering, purchasing packaging, ingredients, office supplies, designing and printing labels, filling jars, marketing, building websites, writing copy for product, for websites, for TikToks, for Instagram, for Facebook, for YouTube, finding local markets to work and small businesses to do pop-up shops. It's just me. Sales is the only one I don't really do alone. It's one of the areas I actually get help with from friends and family. They join me at some of these pop-up shops and markets, not all the time, but sometimes, and they do help out a lot. It can be done. It's not easy, but it can be done. So let's look at this video that I shot about reformulating skim milk. We are reformulating the skim milk. We're testing the emulsifier that I had on hand to see if we can reformulate the recipe that we already have existing. We want to improve the formula. We had a good formula, but one of the problems was we had some separation after some of the bottles sat on the shelves in a salon for a few months. So we're improving the formula. Sorry for the airplane. What we're looking for: improved skin feel, a slightly thicker than milk consistency, a more stable formula regardless of temperature. So here we're going to begin with the rice bran oil on the oil phase. Now, rice bran oil is rich in essential fatty acids and trace elements. It has vitamin C. Rice bran oil helps to moisturize the skin and promote microcirculation. I've already poured it there into my beaker. The next thing we're going to add is hemp oil. Hemp oil is a very popular oil. People just love it. And then we've got lanolin. Lanolin is a very waxy substance. As you can see, it plop into that beaker there. It's derived from sheep. It doesn't hurt the animal. And so we can talk more about that later, but I love lanolin. Next is glycerol stearate SE. It's basically glycerin and stearic acid mixed together, and it's a fatty acid that feels waxy. It's a co-emulsifier, so it works with other emulsifiers to keep things bound together. Next is BTMS 50, also a waxy substance. It is a very conditioning emulsifier. And finally, emulsifying wax, a generic emulsifying wax that I use and love. Finally, we've got cetearyl alcohol. It's a common ingredient in skincare. If you notice, it's not an alcohol, it's a fatty acid. So we're checking the temperature, and we want the heated ingredients to their melting point, but no hotter than necessary. So next we're going to add the xanthan gum, which is the ingredient in question here. It's used as a thickening agent, a texturizer, and it's supposed to stabilize emulsions naturally. So it's naturally derived, and it's a thickener. So I'm adding it to help bind all the ingredients together. And honestly, I'm still working with xanthan gums. I'm not sure how much to put in. But we're getting ready for the water phase. And if you ask why we're not adding it to the water phase, it's because it could fisheye in the water, which means it gets very gelatinous very quickly and the water's really hot. We don't want our formulation to be gloppy or gelatinous. And so we're adding it to the oil phase, and if you notice, there's some steam coming off that water. I need it to cool a little bit. And so what I ended up doing is, once that oil phase was all melted down, I started to add my dry ingredients to that oil phase. So I'm doing some stirring here. But honestly, I'm learning about xanthan gum. I'm not super happy with what it does to my formulations. And so it's just trial and error. So I'm adding the silk peptide here and the goat's milk powder also. And those are just the dry ingredients. We're adding the D-L-panthenol, which is B5, vitamin B5. And we're stirring that into the oil phase. Finally, we've got some aloe powder, and that's a 200 times aloe powder, meaning it's really potent. That's why you don't need very much. But we're adding all of those to the oil phase, and I believe I added it to the oil phase because of the heat that was coming off that water. So keep in mind that glycerin here now to the water phase. So I'm adding a humectant to that water phase. And I'm adding 2 humectants to this recipe actually. So glycerin and then also sodium lactate, which is also a humectant. So both of those are going in to help that water phase come down a little bit. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is business is full of trial and error. Mistakes and reformulating products is going to happen due to the nature of the business. And when you're learning something new, you're not going to get it right 100% of the time. So right here, I'm emulsifying everything together and making sure I get the sides scraped down. When you don't get things right 100% of the time, it's costly. In business, you're learning formulation. What it's costing you is time and money sometimes. Learning about skincare is investing in your knowledge, and you're investing time. But the value is when a mistake is made and you learn from that mistake. And learning how to make less mistakes or catch the mistakes faster to prevent a catastrophe. Think of it this way. If you don't allow yourself, friends or family or coworkers to make mistakes and grow and learn from them, they will hide those mistakes from you. In business, you never want someone to hide a mistake because it can cost you dearly. You want to build trust with those around you when you allow them to make a mistake and a chance to learn from that mistake without punishment. So again, you yourself are included in that. You're actually an employee of the business, even though you own it. And you're learning. So you have the liberty to make mistakes. Formulating and reformulating is inevitable in the skincare world. When you learn how to formulate new products and you have ingredients that are hard to work with, like a gelling agent in this case, working with xanthan gum, you'll discover how to best use it and in what products to use it in. In my experience in using this ingredient, I've come to some conclusions. So these are my learnings. I may be using it in the wrong percentage, I may need to add other ingredients to complement its behaviors, or I'm adding it to a formulation incorrectly, which I don't think I'm doing that, but it's possible. I'm learning and I'm taking notes and I'm formulating with it, and I'm continuing to read about this ingredient and how to formulate with it. Doing your homework on an ingredient is important, but sometimes you're not sure how much research is enough or not enough. Oh, not only am I making skincare products and formulating skincare products, but I'm growing and learning myself. Being older and my kids are all grown up, and learning about some of the things that I truly love to do, I'm improving on myself and what I've learned from my past and previous jobs to what I'm learning today. So when you build a formulation and you use the product yourself for a while, sometimes in the shower or in the bathroom, you realize, wow, this would be a great, or this could double as a. And so when you use the product yourself, it's amazing what other things you can use your product for. I have a few examples of that. So one example is my creamy soap. It's called Creamy Clay Soap. That evolved into Creamy Soap Scrub, and that now will evolve to shaving cream, or creamy soap and shaving cream. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it, but that's what it's evolved to. And what I loved about it is that when I actually shaved my legs, it came off very, very well, and then sudsed up and rinsed away. And I was like, wow, this really sticks to the skin. So I asked my husband to try it, and I loved it using it as a shaving cream. So when I asked my husband to try it as a shaving cream and he tried it, he was like, wow, this is really nice. I like it. He didn't get any razor burn, which was really nice. It does have aloe in it, which is nice. And so I'm like, okay, this I need to maybe relabel, or I can sell it as a creamy soap scrub, and because it has jojoba beads, I can also sell it as a shaving cream, just in a different package. So making a product for something specific and it turning out into something else is great if you look at it that way. So sometimes that's how we have to look at it. Some people try our products in unusual ways and tell us what they did. Sometimes it's like, So this is not a milk consistency, and we're back at our skin milk. And I'm kind of sitting back and just pondering what's going on. This is not what I want it to be. It's too thick. It's a little gelatinous. It's not a skin milk. So what now? Well, I'm stirring. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I'm not really sure. But I've got to be an outside of the box thinker because I don't want things to go to waste. So it's happened before with my detox balm. And let's talk a little bit about detox balm while I think about this. Another example of a product that I made was the detox balm. I specifically made that for the feet, and that detox balm was made with essential oils that were antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal, all of those properties. I also used it for heightened moisturization and protection. When your feet get wet, I wanted them to have like a barrier on them, and so there's some beeswax in there for that barrier. Anyway, I sold that as a foot balm itself, but during COVID, a lot of people were using it on their, because of the properties of it, they were using it on their hands. Now, using a lot of hand sanitizer, and what they noticed is they were getting a lot of dryness on their hands, and so they were using the balm on their hands. They loved that it was sealing in the moisture and that it had all those great properties. So what I learned from that experience is I can't just market this as a foot balm. It could be marketed as an entire body balm. Okay, so we're back to the skin milk, and I put it into a bag. We're going to pipe it into the bottle because even though it's a fail as far as making skin milk, I need to pipe it into the bottle, test it out for a week, try it, give some to my husband, and just test this formulation in general to see what else I can do with it, if anything. And we'll go from there. It may work as something else, it may not, but without me testing it thoroughly, without getting some advice from my husband, friends and family, using it for a while, and just checking out the formulation as a whole for a while, I can't gauge anything from it until I use it. So that's what we're gonna do here. We're piping it into the bottle. It's quite thick, and we're gonna test it out and use it. So this is why I think it's important to formulate in small batches and use the products yourself for a while. It may not just be for the obvious reasons.
Okay, let's land this point. The key is to not get discouraged. It's important to stay the course in business. There will be times of failures and there will be times of successes. There will probably be more failures, reformulating, rebranding, pivoting, than there will be the successes. But don't get down. Things are hard. Use these failures, these rebrandings, these reformulatings, these pivots as an opportunity to learn. These are some of the things I have to tell myself in my business daily, especially when I spend all day formulating something I can't use or sell. And I use my precious time. I've come to learn something about myself. I'm more of a hands-on learner. I do my homework on my formulations. I do my comparisons. I do my research. I do my studying on ingredients. However, nothing beats me actually using each ingredient and watching it come together in a formulation. I am making things. I learn so much as I build that formulation, ingredient by ingredient. When I had the idea of starting a business, it was great to see everybody around me be successful in videos and or in life. But it was more helpful to see those who could push through some of the pain points of business. It was helpful when I got a glimpse of those pearls of wisdom from the few creators who were honest about the hardships, the failures, the inconsistencies of business, and also how to stay the course. I hope today's video helps you in some way. This is Bridget Michelle with Remedy Bathhouse. Until next time, thank you.